Lecture number 6, part 7. We'll talk about risk management plan template. The main template in this part for project risk management plan, and this should include all the other templates. Here are both same: company logo, company name, project name, prepared by whom, date of issue, the project management plan template. Risk management strategy, this is the first part. With us, we have to define the risk management methodology to be used. In section number 1 of this table, define your risk management process, how you will manage the risk. The risk management is scalable to ensure that the level and type and visibility of risk management are commensurate with both the risk and the importance of the project. Modify the text in this section to fit with your process. If you need to do any modifying in this template, you can do it based on your project type and your process. Risk identification, we should identify risk through discussion with all major stakeholders. Also use the risk assessment questionnaire, which we talked about before, and project planning risk assessment checklist to include other project specific risk as appropriate. Risk categorization, we should group the risk into categories by using risk assessment questionnaire. As we explained before, the project manager can create additional categories as he required. Risk probability and impact assessment, we should enter all risk in the risk response plan. As we saw, for each risk identified, assess the risk event in terms of likelihood of occurrence, risk or risk probability, what is the percentage of this risk to happen, and its effect on project objectives if risk even occur. Risk prioritization, we should define which risk is more prioritization. Risk that meet the short criteria will be so noted in risk register. This risk will be prioritized. Risk response planning, part for each risk in the risk register that is above the risk threshold, determines the options and action to reduce the likelihood or consequence of impact to project's objectives, determines the response based on cost benefits analysis, describes the action to be taken to mitigate the risk, describes the signs and symptoms that may be indicator of a risk event occurrence, describes the actions to be taken when the risk event occurs or happen, assign responsibility for each agreed upon response, assign a due date where risk response are time sensitive, determine impact on project budget schedule, and make appropriate change to the project plan. Incorporate this information into risk register. The part of the project strategy, this part should include risk response tracking, document the dates and actions taken to mitigate the risk, document action taken when risk event occur, document any subsequent action taken, incorporate this information into risk register. Part number 2 in this section, risk monitoring. You have to monitor the risk and ensure that all requirements of risk management plan are being implemented. Assess currently defined risks. Define the risk register, evaluate effectiveness of action taken, identify status of action to be taken, validate previous risk assessment, validate previous assumptions, state new assumptions, identify new risk, track risk response, establish communication. Number 3, risk control, validate mitigation strategies and alternatives, take corrective action, assess impact on the project of action taking, cost, time, resources, identify new risks resulting from risk mitigation actions. At this point, if we try to solve or to face any risk can be having, maybe the action we will take, it will produce again new risk. So we have to identify this risk, which is the result from our action to face the first risk. Ensure the project plan, indicate the risk management plan is maintained, ensure change control address the risks, revise the risk assessment questionnaire and project planning risk assessment checklist, other risk management documents, revise risk register, establish communication. At this point, define assumptions that have significant impact on the project risk. Number 3, define the roles and responsibilities unique to the risk management function. Risk management team, here we write the team number. Risk response tracking coordinator, who is responsible for this, we have to write his name. We'll come to this section, risk management strategy. Point number 4, define risk management milestone, insert rows as needed, risk management plan approved, when, risk assessment questionnaire, return to project, what is the date, risk assumption questionnaire and planning risk evaluation checklist complete when, risk management review schedule. Point number 5, we have to define the risk rating scoring, as we explained, impact score from 1 to 9, probability for the risk to happen from 0.1 to 0.9. Number 6, establish risk thresholds by text blue to show how the project team will plan the risk event. Here risk priority is determined by calculating risk score equal impact by probability multiplied by probability, so we'll get the risk score, and then comparing the risk score to the priority thresholds based on scoring system in section number 5. Here the lowest possibility risk is 1 multiplied by 0.1, the risk score is 9 multiplied by 0.9 to get 8.1. We'll put some colors. Green will be for low risk, equal or less than 2.5, yellow for medium risk between 2.5 and 6.5, red is high risk, equal 6.5 or more, up to this is a maximum, as we say, 8.1. The project team developed for response plan for each item related to high risk. These risks are watched closely. The project team should create a response plan for any medium risk. No action is required for low risk item except to keep a watch on them. Number 7, we have to define the risk communication. How is the risk communication team will contact, how they will deal and keep where they should keep the documents. Number 8, define risk tracking process. How we can tracking the process every month, every day, every meeting. It depends on the strategy as you want. We still here with last part of this template, risk project risk management plan approval signature, project name, project manager name, and here who responsible for to produce the template and approve it, and title signature for approval, and the date. In this part we complete the risk management templates of